This is episode 73 of the Robot Punch Gaming Podcast. I am, as usual, your host, Kris Lipscombe.
Okay. And I am the guest host of the TSA podcast, Kris Lipscombe.
So I'm looking at the camera, it's weird. This podcast brought to you by Cherry Relentless. It's like Relentless, but slightly less shit.
What? No, all the flavoured Relentlesses are worse than normal Relentless. Normal Relentless is amazing. What are you talking about?
No, Cherry Relentless is the best available flavour of Relentless.
It's the worst one. You got Relentless, then you got kiwi and apple, then you got tropical, then you got lemon. No, actually, lemon's before tropical, and then you got tropical, and then you got cherry. You don't.
Oh, actually, the lemon iced tea is like the best one, but that's because it's like not an energy drink, really.
It is.
Yeah,
it
but
just doesn't taste like one.
No, but it's also like it
might be less,
but it's like a breakfasty one. It's meant to be. It's like meant to be a recovery one. It's pretty good.
I think you're thinking of Rockstar
or
Monster.
They're all basically the same.
They do a recovery one.
Look, when it all comes down to it, all energy drinks are essentially the same.
The Relentless one is lemonade.
Oh, okay.
It's not lemon iced tea. That is Monster.
Oh, that's Monster. Rockstar. That's really nice, that one. I like that. That's good to have in the morning.
That's the flat one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really nice to have in the morning if you're feeling terrible. I've had that at work a couple of times. But
yeah, that's the best Monster flavour.
What is good?
Because Monster's gross though.
But what's good about Cherry Relentless is it is like super low calorie for like a non. Yeah, it's only like 100 and something calories, which is really good for like a non-low calorie energy drink for one that's not billed as low calorie.
But how? See, this is the thing.
Are we going to do a podcast?
We are doing one. How do you discover? How do you learn how much energy an energy drink gives you?
What do you mean?
Because I was looking on the back, right? Because like surely there's got to be some way. It says energy, and then is that just calories there?
The calories are different to energy.
It says energy, and then it says like kcal something.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily the amount of... Well, that's the amount of energy it gives you, but it won't be how energised it makes you feel.
No, I know that. Yeah, obviously each body's going to digest and move stuff.
Yeah, no, but also it's got like chemicals and stuff in it that makes you feel more awake. Because you could eat like the equivalent amount of bread in calories, but it wouldn't give you the same... It wouldn't make you buzzed.
Yeah.
Like, what was this?
You just feel horrible.
So this is like 155 calories, right? So that's like a slice and a half of bread. So if you ate a slice and a half...
Not much bread, Jesus Christ.
So if you ate like a slice... Yeah, bread's really high in calories. Have you not watched Scott Pilgrim? That's why bread makes you fat.
yeah.
But so that's the thing. It is like it's... Energy drinks are... That they've got chemical. I realize we're sitting the same way. It's super weird. But they've got the same.
Me and Josh do this, but with the opposite legs, so they're touching each other.
That's really weird. But they've got the same amount of calories. So they have the same amount of calories, but the energy drinks are set up in such a way that they kind of give you a buzz.
This is episode 73, not 37, of the Robot Punch Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Kris Lipscombe, and today I'm joined by the man who doesn't understand that you can't eat a lemon, Kris Lipscombe.
You can totally eat a lemon. Like, it's not very nice.
Yeah, I know. I was literally piecing the words together as I was saying.
Like, I mean, I wouldn't eat a lemon, but it would just be like eating a horrid orange.
No, I have eaten plenty lemons. And if you have that thing, what is it? If you have that certain fruit that makes all bitter stuff taste sweet.
Oh yeah, like it's called like miracle fruit or something.
Yeah, miracle I think it is. Yeah, miracle fruit.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. But yeah, like lemon. I imagine it would be like eating a terrible orange, though. I imagine the texture is the same.
It's not quite because I have actually done this. I used because we used to have like lemons and stuff cut up at work at my old bar job, and I'd just eat them at the end of the shift.
I don't think that was the intent. I don't think they were like, well, if these lemons are left, just eat them, fuck it.
Yeah. Well, on a Sunday, the end of a Saturday, they just get thrown out because it's another week until we open.
I guess. I'm just going to work out while you're podcasting. Look, barbells.
Yeah, that's right. It's because I'm muscly. Look at that.
Well, I'm now. That's how it works, right? I did some barbell.
Yeah.
Did that once. Dumbbell, whatever it is. Calm.
Yeah, they don't taste anything. They're not anything really like an orange, because an orange it's a lot more juicier than a lemon, and also it's like contained as each bit. What are you doing? You're trying to find your best
mugging
side.
at the camera. I'm not normally recorded. There's all this stuff. It's cool. Can't really see it. It's really little on the camera.
Well, I can make it bigger.
It's because it's far away.
Well, yeah. Well, then what? We just have the camera on just that.
Yeah, it's way cooler than us.
Yeah.
So eating lemons. So what's the texture like?
Like, it's a lot more stringy than...
Yeah, I could get
and
that.
And it's really hard to actually eat the lemon. Like, you can suck on it and bite away at it, but to actually bite it all down, it's a lot harder than it is like an orange.
I've never peeled a lemon.
You can't. You can't just peel a lemon.
You peel an orange?
No, you can't peel an orange. You can peel a Satsuma.
You peel oranges, you take the outside of an orange off.
Yeah, you'd have to cut it on an actual orange.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Well, yeah, you could do that to a lemon, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mean just like I didn't mean just like
you can peel
with your bare hands. I meant like with a knife.
I thought you meant like
no, because when you peel a potato, you don't just peel a potato with your hands.
That's a really good point. That would be so much easier if you could, though.
Yeah, but you'd have to have like knife hands. That's not good. You have to be Wolverine.
What about that's like Edward Scissorhands?
That's the least interesting use of Wolverine's powers ever. Just use them for peeling potatoes.
Okay. Sorry, I got a text from the other half.
Oh, well, we're live on the internet.
I know. I just feel
and you
bad.
Can't cut this podcast, so...
I just feel bad because I don't understand why she just messaged me.
What'd she want?
She was just saying that she's going into the cinema.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, okay, that's cool, but you know I'm recording.
Because we were saying earlier, you don't want to do jump cuts. Just don't do just do like star wipes. Star wipe.
Or do I like the cube one.
Yeah.
Like where it cubes up and then rolls over.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Maybe. No.
Just make
That's worse than jump cuts.
Just make it look like a vlog.
Just fade out.
Just make it look like a vlog.
Yeah, I don't know why I feel it's okay in a vlog, but not.
Because if it's a vlog, I should be like.
Yeah, the thing is, well.
Here is roughly maybe, but I should be closer into the camera, but still.
Yeah, I think it's just the way the camera is, and like, I don't know, when it's a conversation.
Those lights are warm once you move forwards a bit.
I don't know. I'm used to them now.
Yeah.
Because I have them on my face over there when I'm recording the Let's Plays.
I don't watch any of your Let's Plays.
That's because you're a bastard.
I hate Let's Plays. I like that I can hold the mic in such a way you just can't see. I don't have a mouth. Look, it's like here. No mouth. My mouth is orange. I just don't like Let's Play as a format, really. I feel it's just fundamentally uninteresting.
Oh, no, I agree. Like,
but you make them.
No, I mean, no, I don't agree. I mean, I understand.
Okay.
I can understand.
I agree, but still,
no,
that doesn't stop me.
No, I understand why people cannot like him. I can see him as like really.
I can understand why people don't like a lot of things. It's kind of just how life works.
But the main thing about the Let's Plays is like I feel it's I won't watch any that doesn't have talking over.
Oh, that's completely pointless.
Yeah, and a lot of people do it really well, but I don't really like the ones without webcams either.
The only one I really like is I like Hank Green's one where
I haven't heard him.
Hank Green. He is one of the vlog brothers on YouTube, so he's a pretty big deal.
Oh, is he?
Well, you know, do you know who John? Oh,
it's a peeled lemon.
That's weird. Oh, I'm glad people are watching us.
Thank you.
So, do you know who John Green is?
No, I don't.
So, John Green is.
I don't listen to hip hop.
So, do you know what The Fault in Our Stars was?
Yes.
So, it was a film last year.
Yes, I watched it with the lady friend.
Okay. So John Green is the
really
guy.
Annoying guy in it.
John Green is the guy who wrote the original novel.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's an author, but he also does a lot of stuff on YouTube and lots of other stuff as well. He's got charitable foundations and stuff like that. He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah. What's his charity for? I guess it's for cystic fibrosis. That's not what the film's about, is it? It's
cancer. Some of it is for cancer. Some of it's called the Charity to Reduce World Suck. And basically,
Okay. Well, world suck.
Yeah, make the world a better place, basically.
Yeah,
but it's essentially what happens though is every year they have a big charity drive.
It's just like you were like I have these words that I want to put in this name, but it's too long to make the name charity to make the world a less sucky place or something like that. It's like, well, no, it's not pithy enough. Just use 3 words.
So basically, he has the charity, and the charity is what happens is every year they have a big 24-hour thing on YouTube where like YouTube backs them and stuff. And what the deal is you put your videos up, and your video is like a pitch for a charity. Like, hey, here's a charity I would like money to go to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then basically people vote on them, and the top 5 videos or something, like the top 5 charities that feature the videos, not the videos, but the top 5 charities, then they get the money that's been raised is split between them.
That's cool, yeah.
Or they'll split, and then obviously they're like encouraging people to donate in those videos as well.
Yeah.
And so kind of what happens is, I think the money they make from that goes specifically to those 5, but then obviously they get other money throughout the rest of the year as well.
Yeah.
And then I think that goes to like a next set of charities type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But they also do stuff throughout the year with like helping to donate water and stuff, and like microfinance loans and things like that. It's pretty cool. But the main thing is he is a fairly big deal on YouTube, and his brother Hank Green is also a fairly big deal. They kind of share a channel where like one does it on. So I think at the minute sometimes it changes, but I think at the moment John does it on Tuesdays and Hank does it on Fridays, and they produce a video. And what was the point originally? Oh, and then so they do other stuff as well. And so they do Let's Plays and Hank Games. It's called Hank Games. And no, Games with Hank is what I think what the channel's called. And at the minute he's doing a variety of things, but one of them he's playing Super Mario Brothers Wii. I can't remember when it is, but the one that's on Wii. And he's playing that with his wife.
Yeah, I don't know which.
But yeah, what? Super Mario World or something.
Galaxy.
The 3D one. But it's not Galaxy.
Not.
But it might be on the Wii U. I'm not sure.
Not. Oh, for God's sake! What the fuck is the name?
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's
the street cleaner one.
No, not that one.
Okay. That was the worst idea for a game ever.
It's like a normal Mario.
What the fuck? Why are you like? Right. So we've got this plumber that never actually does plumbing. So rather than getting him to do a plumbing job, maybe we should make him do street cleaning.
Are you talking about Luigi's like?
No, the Mario one about the Starshine or whatever it's called, Sunshine.
Oh, Sunshine. That's on GameCube.
Oh, is it? Well, yeah. I've seen people play it on Wii, because we can play GameCube games.
But so but I really like that. The same way I like that. I like when he did Five Nights at Freddy's. But I really like what he's doing at the minute with his wife because it's kind of a lot of fun and because it's like what I think's smart about the Mario Brothers games is where they're cooperative but also competitive. So you kind of have to cooperate to get through a level, but also at the end of the level you get scored individually.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I like stuff like that.
It's a nice dynamic where it's like him and his wife.
Yeah, that's good. I've been wanting to do some Let's Plays with Liz for a while, but that would be fun. We have to do it now because she's getting like really into the hype train of Halo 5.
Oh,
yet she's never really played a Halo game.
Oh, did you play from the first one?
So you got she has played.
I assume you got the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, she has played most of the first one now.
Yeah.
But no, she has completed it, I think. And then this was ages ago when it actually came out, the Master Chief Collection. We were like, oh, we're going to stream Halo 2 together and then just do the rest of them co-op. So like, I need to get her to.
But like, it's got 1, 2, 3, and 4 in, right, in the Master Chief Collection, and it's got ODST in now as well.
Is that been put in now? They were saying it was going to be
ODST.
put in. I don't know.
I don't think it is yet, but it will be.
Yeah.
No, it is coming in a way if it's not in yet.
Yeah. That's one of the best Halos in my opinion.
So the only one you're missing is the best Halo, which is Halo Reach. But
that is the best Halo.
Yeah, by miles.
Okay, you sounded sarcastic then.
No, it's generally the best Halo. It's the best Halo by I really like the Master Chief, but it's the best Halo by miles. It's much more interesting story than the others, and the characters actually have a dynamic.
The only thing that annoyed me was the Master Chief stuff that was in the game.
Yeah.
Like the brief bit where he's getting taken onto.
Yeah.
Like how everything else doesn't match up with the book, that matches up the book even less.
Yeah,
Like,
I know, but it kind of still works, sort of. But that's not necessarily meant to be the Master Chief. I think they said or something. It's complicated.
How's it not the Master Chief? He's in the cryo chamber.
Yeah, but I think it was just meant to be as like a cute Easter egg rather than like an actual story beat.
Maybe, I guess so.
Because I think you just see him like on the ship, but he's not. It's not really focused.
The ship's going across. You don't actually see it. So you have to press a button combination.
Yeah.
And then you see him.
Yeah, so I think it's just like a cute Easter egg. It's not a real
I
thing.
Guess so. I can't even remember how he gets on the ship now in the book, but it's definitely not that way.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is it's just meant to be like a cute thing. It's not meant to be actually. And I think they've kind of said in interviews, it's like, hey, that's not really Master Chief. It was just a thing we did.
That's fine.
So what else?
Did you want to do the last week of your life?
Is that the first bit, or was there news? Do we do news?
No, we don't do news.
I don't listen to your podcast.
We don't do news. We don't do news.
I should do, but I'm terrible. I listen to like 50 podcasts.
Yeah, you listen to so many, yet mine's not one of them.
I know, but it's.
I listen to yours.
Yeah, but my podcast's way better. So there's that.
Yours doesn't have people that don't come on constantly.
Is that not a good thing?
Whatever.
And my one has like a rotating cast now and stuff like that.
Mine did have a rotating cast, and then they all just seem to die.
We're getting like guests every week, and then I'm starting to get new guests. So you should check out the Oscar White Media podcast in when like the end of May. Don't turn my voice.
So yeah, end of May.
I think at the end of May we're starting to get interesting people.
That's nice to the people.
No, but like people who are
Teflon.
But people who aren't like
Teflon.
Well, no, because we get lots of different guests in now.
Yeah, but you've had Teflon on the most.
Yeah, but now I try and rotate between. Although it's fallen out a little bit because someone moved a date about, I try and alternate between someone who is TSA staff and someone who's not TSA staff.
Oh, okay.
But that's not quite happening at the moment. But yeah, so that's what I try and do, and we're getting people who are like, mostly it's people who are kind of friends of the site type thing.
Yeah.
But I think
like me. But
yeah,
you won't have me back on.
I will have you back on. But I like to.
Apparently, we're streaming State of Decay right now.
Oh, cool.
I forgot to change to.
But I like to leave like a month or two between having different guests on. So between having the same guest on. So I try to go for. I think my minimum I try and do. You're right. Let's look at us. But the minimum I try and do is like 8 episodes. 8 to 10 is what I try and aim for before I like loop back around, unless someone cancels on me.
Yeah. Because
the reason we have Teflon is he's just a good person that I know I can rely on in a pinch. So, but the week. So let me see. When is this going up?
Well, this will be up after your next one. This will be up Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
So the one podcast that just came out before this was Blair. Again?
Was it? I guess so. I can't remember.
No, the one that's coming out.
Oh, okay. Oh, the one you've recorded.
Yeah, it's recorded. It's edited apart from the last 20 minutes because I finished it. It was like 20 to midnight and I went to bed. Because I basically I was sitting on my PC and all the audio downloaded in Dropbox while I was still sitting there, and I was like, fuck it. So I just started editing it. So I've still got like 20 minutes left to go with that, but that's mostly done. And so that was Blair, and then the one that's coming out after this it should be Jim, who is the features editor at sleepaxis.com. But then the week after that is a guy called George Osborne, who is a guy, not the Chancellor of the Exchequer, different George Osborne.
No, I was thinking the Osbornes. Like,
it's not the Osbornes.
No, I mean, not even that Osborne. I mean, Harry Osborne, Norman Osborne.
No, also not them.
Okay, so he's not going to start cackling really loudly and throw bombs at you.
He is a guy who works for a number of sites on freelance, but I think mostly is associated with Pocket Gamer. He seems very cool. And then
that gaming platform people really care about.
And then 2 weeks after that is Vicky, whose surname I can't remember, but she like works with Destructoid and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool.
Ooh, look at me, I'm Kris, I get other people.
And then
reliable.
And then at the
That's
end
the ease of being a Skype podcast.
But then at the end of June, we're getting like a developer as well, which is kind of cool. We haven't had any developers for a very long time.
See,
so.
I've wanted to try and do that, but obviously we don't Skype it.
Yeah, it's much easier if you Skype it.
Yeah, but then like I've thought about it, but then you say like, oh, I prefer coming on because it's not Skype.
I do prefer coming on, but that's because I do Skype every week. This is different.
Yeah,
and also because like I what should I say? Because the people I do it with don't live in the same town. Like all the people you do it with tend to live in Hastings or in the surrounding area.
That's the restriction on why I'm so stuck on people coming on.
Yeah,
like
but what you should do is if you buy more, get some headphone splitters, buy more headphones. Buy a headphone splitter, then you can Skype people in.
Yeah, I thought about doing that.
And you test it and see if it works. That would be a good way to go. It might be a little bit awkward. Well, you should be able to do it. You should be able to combine multiple video inputs into Twitch. I think should work. I think Twitch lets multiple people stream because I've seen. Yeah,
I have seen. I think. I don't know. I think they get it all sent to one computer, and then the one computer.
Yeah, that might be the way it works.
One and then
I think because I have to ask how Pocket Gamer because Pocket Gamer does it.
Yeah.
But
why don't you start doing the video one?
We might be.
It's just because the last podcast, everyone was saying how they had video apart from you.
It breaks Kev's computer, but Kev is getting a new computer.
Oh, okay.
I can't talk about that.
Why can't you talk about that?
It might be happening. That's all I can say at the moment.
Like anyone who listens to this listens to your podcast.
No, I generally can't talk
they will
about
now after you've made it sound so much better than mine.
Yeah, you could listen to my podcast, but I don't mind. Stuff might happen, but I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah,
basically. So that might happen in the next 6 months, maybe. But we have to see. There's some other stuff that might be happening for our 200th as well, but that's not finalised because that's not for like 4 months.
We've got our 2 years coming up soon.
That's cool.
Next month.
Right. What's the next bit? Last week of our lives.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what have you done?
Does there not a thing? Or do you not go last week of your life?
It does, but I don't have the accessibility to the noises.
Normally, you just
noise
go.
Makers. The last week of our lives.
Yeah, see, that's fine. That's what you want.
Lives.
Perfect.
Lives.
Stop saying lives now.
Lives.
It's weird. It's kind of creepy.
Lives.
How many people are watching us on Twitch?
Lives. Okay, carry on, Chris.
How many people are watching us on Twitch?
Oh, how many? Oh, you don't want to know that question.
It's like, I don't mind if it's none.
Let's see. I did have it up. I brought it up. Did I close it? You idiot.
Presumably someone is because they sent us a picture of a lemon.
Yeah, at least 2 people are. Last time I checked, it was 2 people.
Is one of those you, though?
Probably. I don't know. I'm logged in, so I don't know if it counts yourself. Carl is _.
We should use Periscope
awesome.
instead. Periscope's the new cool thing.
Yeah, that's what he asked, actually. He was like, do you Twitch it or do you Periscope it? And I was like, I literally heard of Periscope last week. What the fuck is going on?
It'd be really awkward to do it on Periscope because you can only Periscope from a phone.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
And it's all vertical video, which is just...
It
works, but only if you've got like one person at a time. It doesn't really work for multiple people.
I could just hold it in my hand and Periscope us. Right.
Well, no, because it will use your front-facing camera as well.
Oh, what?
But so I don't know if it will. But you could, because you could just hold it in between us and then just switch the camera.
Oh, okay. Oh, like so that. Oh God, Jesus Christ!
So hold it like that, and then just flip the camera back and forth.
Yeah, I know this podcast seems to be very much in detail of like I don't know talking
how to
about, podcast. Yeah, or like how to and how not to, and and the possibilities of other ways of doing it.
Yeah, exactly. So Relentless sponsoring the Robot Punch Game podcast.
I so fucking wish. Can I have your other can of Relentless?
No, because it's for me.
Oh, you're mean.
Also, you have like a heart condition. And probably shouldn't drink a lot of caffeine. So that's a thing. You know?
No, stop telling me what to do. My heart condition is mostly fine, okay?
So when there are heart conditions,
yeah,
I don't think that there is like I think with heart conditions you're like it's just my general take on heart conditions is you either have one or you don't. You're like, yeah, I have one, but it's fine. It's not a big deal.
No, because I've had 2 heart operations.
And you still have heart palpitations.
Yeah, but a lot less. A lot less. No, honestly, it is like...
Yeah, I know it's a lot less, but it's just hilarious. Because if someone... Right, if you replace palpitation with heart attack, and if someone was like, look, I used to have a lot of heart attacks, now I only have them occasionally, it's fine.
I understand that from like an outside perspective, it seems like a lot worse than it does to my perspective. But because it was like 2-3 times a night before.
You realise I have 0 heart palpitations.
Yeah, and I only get like 2 a month. So
I
used to get them like constantly every single night. So
I'm just teasing you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have me on if you're not willing to let me tease you. That's all I do. What's happening now? Are you just stealing? Oh, I thought you were just steal my Relentless.
It's Coke then. So right,
you can have my Relentless if you actually want it.
I do want it. Did we talk about last week of your life finally?
So what have I done in last week?
Jesus Christ!
What?
Don't worry, we stopped this enough. A pin just flew across the room.
I knocked the man off.
Oh, that's from Reach.
What's his name? I forget.
Carter.
Oh, okay.
He's the worst one. Actually, no, it's the second worst one.
Who's the worst one?
Kat.
No, Kat's the best one.
Kat, well, I was so happy when she got shot in the head.
I cried when she got shot in the head.
What? No, I cried when George died.
I genuinely cried.
I genuinely cried when George died.
Do you know why I cried though? Because it was just completely out of the blue.
And it was the first death, wasn't it?
No.
Or was George before that?
George is before. Well, but you don't see his death. It's not on camera. It's just assumed.
How else does he survive? He throws you out of the spaceship, and you're plummeting down into not into orbit, down into Earth.
Yeah. Well, Reach.
And yeah, sorry, I meant Earth
toward the planet. Yeah.
Yeah, and the ship blows up. Like seconds, unless he jumped, he then ran to the other side of the ship and jump off the other side.
Yeah, I mean,
you would have seen him in the sky if he was falling as well.
He's probably dead, but also I'm a big comic book fan, and if you don't see the body, I mean comic books.
But even in comics, if you see the body, he still can be alive.
But if you don't see the body, you're like, yeah, that's probably fine.
No, yeah, I agree with that in comics definitely, but Halo's not known for bringing people back to life, though. That art for Halo 5.
Yeah.
I've seen some people saying it's got the it's got Master Chief facing Locke.
Yes.
And then it's got 4 Spartans on either side.
Yeah.
And one's obviously Master Chief, and then the people that are with him, like people are saying is I can't remember the names, but the people that were with him in Reach, who are clearly dead, aren't they?
No, if you read the books.
Yeah, I read the book.
They don't all die. Like Blue Team's still alive.
Are they?
Yeah.
What is that? Who was in Blue Team?
Like most of the Spartans die on Reach, but they don't all die.
I swear they died.
Oh no, you have to.
That was the team that he went with, though. That was.
Yeah, but you have to read the books after Reach.
Oh, okay. Fine. Yeah, but didn't they specifically die in Reach? It had death scenes for the people I'm thinking of. It had death.
Oh yeah, no, but there's it's complicated
because there's the guy in the EVA who dies on the ship.
Yeah.
There was the woman sniper who I'm pretty.
She ain't dead.
She ain't dead.
She 100% is not dead.
What? No, the books they just don't care what happens in the previous one.
No, they do.
They do.
It's all explained.
But they're like, well, I don't like that one simple fact, so I'm going to change it.
No. There's. I don't want to spoil the books, but it's perfectly logical. What happens is perfectly logical.
What about the Spartans that are trapped in a time? They got some fucking Doctor Who shit going on. Isn't there some Spartans that are trapped in a time bubble somewhere?
That's these same Spartans.
What the fuck? You can't just bring random shit into it. That's not logical. How the hell is that illogical.
So no,
oh, they were in like some like dimensional time space goobly bubble that just like is there because why not? Is it Forerunner? It's got to be Forerunner. That's everything else is like fucking. What is it like? Everything in Halo, if they like can't think of something, they're like, Forerunner. If it's in Assassin's Creed, they're like, well, this doesn't work with the story we're going with. So, Animus.
No, it's Forerunner, but again, it does actually make sense in the books. It's well, actually, no, it would make sense with the games as well to an extent. So in Halo 3.
I'm sorry, I just got a really weird message.
Okay.
I just said to someone that I asked to come on the podcast if they'd like to watch the Twitch stream, and they were like, I will, I'm pooping, so it's brilliant. Okay.
But so, in Halo 3...
Yeah.
Where they're talking about the Ark?
Yeah.
So...
Wait, the Ark, the Ark that runs all the Halos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right, first up, if you're going to read any of the Halo books, just skip forwards like 5 minutes, because I'm probably going to spoil a fuckload of stuff right now.
Okay.
So...
Wait, if you're watching the stream and you care, I'll hold a finger up.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, or if you're watching the video later, you can...
The finger is gone.
Yeah.
It's fine. So
just chop my finger off.
So here's what happens. So the guys who are on Reach basically escape into a subterranean complex, which is it's a Forerunner complex underneath Reach, which is
okay.
So
the Forerunner complex that is in Reach the game.
I don't know if it's the same complex
because that's pretty overrun by Covenant.
No, it's a different one, I think.
Okay, but I guess I guess the books came out before the game, but the game kind of hints that there are Forerunner stuff like that on Reach.
I can't quite remember. It's because it's this huge Forerunner complex basically, which I think the stuff in Reach is like there's only a little bit of in the game. Maybe I can't quite remember. The complex
is the cavern it's in or the cave it's in is huge, and then I mean you only see a small part of it, but it is a big is fairly big structure. I don't know. It's like a big-ish building.
It's kind of weird because the description in the book is kind of it's impossibly huge kind of thing because of like dimension shifting stuff. That's because it's Forerunner.
Oh, of course.
Forerunners have this.
When did they mention dimension shifting stuff?
The Forerunners
in the games,
but the Forerunners built like entire worlds. I think it's pretty that their technology is fairly advanced.
Yeah, but they don't mention dimension shifting.
Yeah, but
you can't get from just because you conceivably make up something entirely huge. That doesn't mean that is close to like devices that can shift dimensions.
Yeah, it's like no, but that's why.
That's like a caveman looking at.
Well, no, if you think dimension shifting is basically in there, if you consider hyperspace.
They do have hyperspace.
And the Forerunners are really good at navigating hyperspace. And basically everything that is, to be fair though, everything that where I say dimension shifting is actually like compressing objects into hyperspace because space is sized differently in hyperspace.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, but if you think of like ships, because ships can go into hyperspace, right?
Yeah.
But it's just a case of putting other stuff into hyperspace in different ways. So yeah, it does kind of make sense. I think it is a bit of a leap, but also Forerunner tech is just ludicrously advanced, and we don't know all of what it can do. So I'm kind of fine with that element of it. But they're basically going to this huge cavernous space. I can't quite remember what happens, but I think that's how they survive the bombardment when Reach gets glassed. So I'm not 100% because I can't quite remember exactly. But I think they get rescued by just a dropship comes and rescues them or something. And then because obviously after the Covenant glass the planet they just fuck off.
Yeah, they do actually.
And so the UNSC come back just to check for survivors.
I was thinking surely they'd stay around, but no, they do actually mention they glass it and fuck off straight away.
Because what's the point? You've glassed the planet.
Yeah.
And it also completely fits in with the Covenant's kind of hubris. They're like, well, we glassed the planet, so obviously it's done.
Yeah, like they're cocking it.
Yeah. So that's that. Then they were actually on Earth during the events of Halo 2, I think, where you've got the invasion of Earth by the Covenant.
Okay. What, in New Mombasa?
They're not in New Mombasa though.
No, but I mean, yeah, I meant. Sorry, I was.
So yeah, the events of Halo 2 in New Mombasa.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
But they're not in New Mombasa. They're
being lazy.
No, they are doing other stuff around in another place. But like Master Chief isn't informed they're necessarily on World, I think. But yeah, so they're basically off doing actual Spartan missions where they're doing like actual like spec ops behind enemy lines type missions.
They're like, Master Chief, seriously, what the fuck are you doing?
This is not what the Spartan program was designed for. So they're off doing that, and then so all the stuff with the, as you described it, Doctor Who world is, so you have the Ark in Halo 3.
I didn't say Doctor Who world, right? I said it's Doctor Who stuff. I know what fucking the planet that Whovians, Doctor Who's Doctor is from, gets timey-wimey, dimensiony wobbly stuff away.
Yeah,
but that's not. Yeah.
So basically,
I just wanted to make sure I tried to remember the name and I tried to be clever and then I forgot it.
It's Gallifrey. Yes. So basically, there's a planet called Onyx, which humans find. And
is it just a giant onyx from Pokemon wrapped up in a ball?
No,
that would be much more interesting.
This is a bit where you're like, oh come on, that's just a bullshit coincidence, and I'm willing to accept this as like a crazy coincidence. But so because Master Chief is Spartan 2, the Spartan 3 training complex is on Onyx.
Okay.
And Onyx, so you've got the Ark, which was like,
wait, is Spartan 3 is the one that go insane?
No.
Which one was that? one?
Spartan 1's kind of a weird. Spartan, not really Spartans.
What ones? Because Spartan 2 is obviously kidnapped kids. Spartan 3's, they're not. Are they Spartan 3's in Reach?
No, right. Spartans, they are sort of. Spartan 3's are kids, but instead of kidnapping, like, instead of going for high, good, perfect ones, they basically
good, perfect. Okay, yeah.
But instead of going for like perfect candidates, they go in bulk instead, and so they basically just go and take homeless kids who've been made homeless by the Covenant War, and train them as soldiers.
I'm sure that's a lot cheaper than creating a clone and going in. And I never understood. Right, they made clones of these kids.
Yes,
and then they kidnapped them. What? Oh no! Did the clones die?
Yes, they made flash clones because they're really bad.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Because actual human cloning is still really hard, but flash clones are easy.
Yeah,
but flash clones are normally like, we made like an organ. Like making a whole human is really hard, but to make an organ is really easy.
Yeah.
So I know way too much about Halo. So that's Spartan 3. So that's where the training complex is for Spartan 3s, right? And as I say, this is the one where I'm like, okay, this is a weird coincidence that is just lazy writing. But it just so happens that, so you've got the Ark, where is the control stuff for all of the Halos, but is also like is kind of compressed into hyperspace so that it can't be affected by when the Halos go off.
Is it?
But it's kind of shielded, obviously, in some way.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I don't remember them. They never explain any of something like that in the game.
But you kind of have to. But you kind of have to assume it's shielded.
I just guess I never considered it. Like, no,
because the Ark is just a gateway, isn't it? They kind of go through it, and it's like takes you to somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to play 3 again.
But anyway, yeah, basically it's like that.
Okay.
Because it's obviously they're not going to set it off in such a way that it kills the guys who are operating the Ark.
Yeah, but then I can't. No, I can't see the logic in that. When you're already your logic is, we're gonna to stop one like parasite thing. We're gonna wipe out everything else, including ourselves, on the Halos.
Yeah.
And their planets. Why do they then care? Like, but no, we can't have the people in the Ark hurt.
No, that's the thing, is they don't wipe themselves out very specifically. They're wiping out all sentient life in the galaxy except themselves. But what they're doing to escape the flood is they're going to go into hiding for long enough for the flood to die out. But so what the thing is the Ark is basically, I think, is compressed into hyperspace, like I was saying earlier.
Okay.
But obviously they've got a huge like galactic empire. and not everyone's going to be able to get to the Ark. So what they create are what are called shield worlds, which are basically, think like nuclear bunker essentially, but an entire planet.
Yeah.
And so what they do is they have, and Onyx just happens to be one of these shield worlds, which again, that's why I'm like, yeah, that's bullshit. That's like, that's lazy writing. But then, so the actual, the kind of the crust of Onyx is just a hollow shell, and inside it is the real shield world.
Okay.
And so that's how these guys end up in the thing, is like they're Spartan 3s, and then some of the Spartan 2s end up there because Halsey finds out about the Spartan 3 program, and it's like, hey, I was pretty unethical, but this is even more unethical. You're like, I don't think you get to make that judgment, Halsey.
Yeah, I remember hearing that kind of thing. Yeah.
So Halsey kidnaps a couple of Spartan 2s.
Like 2s or 3s?
2. Well, no, she kidnaps Kelly, who is the sniper Spartan 2.
Yeah. Okay, I remember her name
and
now.
then a couple of other Spartan 2s are there because I think they're following Kelly or something, and I can't quite... like, I read these a while ago, so I can't remember every detail. And also... Oh, it might... No, it's not. But a different guy who you think is dead is actually running the Spartan 3 program.
Yeah.
Because his death was rigged by Oni. Like, they faked his death so that they could get him to come and do the Spartan 3 program. So he's in charge of that. Kirk, I believe his name is. And he's the only Spartan who gets to have a surname. Like, they give him his... But they're basically, that's kind of the deal, is part of the deal is they give him his surname back. They let him know who he really is.
Yeah.
It's kind of part of it, which is kind of cool. And so that's kind of what happens there. That's why they will end up there. They end up in Onyx, and then they end up going to the Shield World thing. And then some other stuff happens after that with, like, it gets weird after that.
Yeah. Okay. Well...
So the ones in Reach are in the Reach the game.
Yeah.
Are Spartan 3s.
Yeah.
But they wear Spartan 2 armor for some reason. I can't remember. They do explain why.
No, was it Spartan 2 armor? Because
they wear modified Spartan 2 armor.
No, because they say George is wearing modified Spartan 2 armor.
Spartan 3, they're not wearing Spartan 3 armor because Spartan 3s will basically bulk. Their armor is like super disposable.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's not, their armor is not Mjolnir armor.
But no, the guys in Reach they're
wearing Mjolnir.
Yeah, no, but no, I'm saying...
I mean, look at these guys right here. They're clearly wearing Mjolnir armor.
No, I was saying about them personally. They said they volunteered for the Spartan program.
Yeah, I can't remember. Is
that not Spartan 4s? I think
Spartan 4s don't exist at the time of Reach.
Do they not?
No.
No, I thought... Are we not on 5 now? I thought Spartan 5 was in 4.
No, Spartan 4s are in 4.
Okay. I don't know.
But these guys are clearly wearing Mjolnir armor, right?
Well, yeah.
But they're not Spartan 2s.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well, but
I think
I guess because 4's different armor, isn't it? Yeah.
So I think they volunteer to be. I think they're Spartan 3s, but they volunteer for something else.
No, because I'm pretty sure Carter says that he was something else, and then he was in the army. I think he was a Marine, and then he volunteered to be Spartan 3.
Okay,
so unless
maybe
they opened up the Spartan 3 program.
Yeah, there's some weird thing. I'd have to read up. I can't remember exactly what's going on with that. But yeah, so that's kind of how that happens.
What other one thing? I was just going to say, with 5 coming out, like, they really need to board escape, because obviously this new book, and I only just found this out like the other day, that in the book that happens after 4, the Didac dies like 4 days after the events of number 4 at the hand of another Forerunner. Yeah. So they better fucking explain that at the start of 5 for people that haven't read the books, because otherwise that's going to be really confusing.
Stuff is like, you
can't just kill off a major bad guy in like I don't know what to call it. I was going to say non-canon, but it is canon, and it's not. Like, I don't know what to
be
say.
fair, they kind of assumed you know who the Didac is, and
yeah, well, I don't know. I didn't know who he was, and I still kind of was just like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, I went with it.
Well, no, you accept he's the bad guy, but it's kind of a lot of implied stuff in there, and then
there's a lot of people that I think there's 2 types of. Well, I think there's 3 types, and I'm the middle type, but there's either the people that have read all the books or read enough of the books,
or
just the Didact books, the one that he was in before anyway, to know who the Didact is. And then there's the other type is the people that just play the game and didn't pay enough attention to the story, and they're like, I have no idea who the fucking Didact is, but I played it, and while I don't exactly know who he is, there was enough dialogue and enough stuff in it to explain a minimal amount that was natural to the conversations that you could miss. I admit you could easily miss it because it was just in certain conversations. I think that's
true.
And like the librarian stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's true, but I also think there is an awful lot of...
Should I put my finger down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's also an awful lot of subtext you miss in 4, because if you don't know about stuff.
No, there definitely was, but I feel that...
Like, I know about that stuff and I was still like, what?
I feel they brushed over it enough that it was acceptable.
I just think because you don't really get any of his motivations and stuff, it means he's not a particularly compelling villain.
Yeah, no, that was I guess that's one point.
It's all like fuck humans, I hate humans. Are you gonna explain why? No. Okay.
Well, I felt the librarian did kind of explain a little bit, but I don't really actually remember that much. I thought it was something about like him wanting to bring back the Forerunners.
Yeah,
and she was like, and basically there was like a split of the Forerunners. Like the one Didact was,
but it doesn't even touch on like because the games at no point touch on the entire like human Forerunner war really at any point, and you're like, that's a whole thing. Like, that's a pretty substantial chunk of the universe that the game... until the Didact came along, you could completely ignore as well quite happily, because it had no real implications.
Right. But... So that happened, like, wasn't there... Was it... You have to explain... Was there... There was a... Humans were more advanced, and then they had the war with the Forerunners, and then they got knocked back.
They lose the war, and the Forerunners knock them back.
Yeah, and then humans then, like, advance in the path that we know today.
Yeah, so basically what happens is the human Forerunner war in, like, 200,000 years ago type thing. Humans lose.
Yeah.
But the reason the war... So humans lose, humans get turned basically into slaves for Forerunners.
Yeah.
Which is a bit shitty. But they don't realise that the reason that humans came into conflict with the Forerunners is the humans are running from the flood.
Oh, really?
Because all they know is that humans are being pushed. Humans are like breaching into Forerunner space. But the reason they're moving into Forerunner space is they're being pushed out of their space because the flood is fucking coming.
But what I was going to say was the reason why I feel that they wouldn't and don't touch on the human Forerunner war much is because humans don't know about it.
No,
that's why I'm saying, like, you're like, in most of the games at least, Master Chief is I can't fucking remember the word.
he's basically the chosen one.
No, I mean he's the
protagonist.
No. He's the eyes of the viewer.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The cipher, the audience cipher. He's in most of the games. He's the audience cipher, or whatever your character is. Yeah. He is the audience cipher. So you can't really have information that they don't know. So I as well as it may make the overall story like have holes in it and not make so much sense, that's the way it is to them though as well.
Yeah.
Pardon me. So in that way it does make sense.
So I didn't play any Halo in the last week.
No, I was just thinking this as well. I was thinking this like the last 5 minutes.
So in the last week I watched Brighton lose their last home game of the season 2-0, which is a bit depressing. What else did I do? Did something else this week. I can't remember what it was.
I played State of Decay.
Yeah, I played like a bit
edition.
I played like a bit of Ollie 2 today, which that game is really fucking hard.
Yeah.
I played a bit of Never Alone, which is really nice. And much nicer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
I've been told it's kind of beautiful, and I absolutely agree.
I've heard some good and some bad points about that.
I really like the documentary stuff in it.
But yeah, the bad points I've heard is the implementation of the documentary stuff.
Yeah, but
it's like you're like, I've heard a lot of people be like, you're almost punished in a way that it's like, or they just didn't design it very well. So it's like, you're playing a bit of game, and then we're going to put some documentary in. They weren't like imaginative about how they were going to. Really
That's not true at all.
But
because it, if you want to, so the documentary stuff unlocks as you go through the world.
Yeah.
You are under no obligation to watch it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's, if you're playing it, you're probably playing it for that.
No, but I mean, you're under no obligation to watch it like at that point.
Yeah, but I agree with the points that I've heard that I can't repeat because they're not my own points. But just that it's just not well implemented into the actual game itself, and should be more than maybe just a video of like, you're walking along, you do a certain thing, and then this video pops up, whether you can watch it then or later. It's just not like into the gameplay. It should be more part of the game rather than like, here's like a random unlock that you got that you can look at later.
I think that's sort of true. But I do think it also, on the other hand, not all of them, but some of them fit in quite well with the context of what's going on in the game. So I don't think it's a spoiler to say like you encounter like spirits.
Yeah,
because it happens in like the first 10 minutes of the game. You encounter spirits, and like at the point you encounter spirits, then a video unlocks at that point that's like, here's stuff about their thoughts about spirits, and it comes up at that point. That's a little video, and you watch it. It's really interesting. I think maybe they could have integrated it more into the game, but I also think it would have been equally clumsy and way less informative. I would rather have it implemented as it is now, where you get the video and you can watch the video if you want to. You don't have to watch the video, but the fact that although it's contextualized, it's not directly tied into the game, means it's easy to go back and watch it later.
Yeah, because
it's not going to feel weird when you go back to it. And also, I think what works with it is that it's like an actual video that is really genuinely informative. Because I think if they actually did it as like, I think her name's Nuna. If it was like, I mean, just the way I'm thinking of it is like Nuno experiencing a flashback to her elder telling her about spirits or something. But I think that would be much less interesting. Because I just don't think it would be as informative as the videos are. I think the co-op gameplay is nice, that you can do it co-op or single player. Because if you're doing it single player, you hit triangle and it just switches between the characters.
Doesn't it really suck though if you're the co-op character? I've heard that they don't have as many. Or no, I think it's the original character.
No, I think they both have stuff to do. I think the fox is kind of cooler, but because there's the fox and there's the girl.
Yeah.
But like, they each have distinct things they can do. Okay. Like the fox can like wall run and stuff.
Yeah.
But then Luna is needed to like so I'm not super far into it. But so far, like the fox kind of gets three things quite early on, in that he can like wall jump, he can like scrabble up walls because he's got claws.
Yeah.
And also he has some connection to the spirits you find in the game. But the girl, at the moment, what she can do is there's puzzles where you have to move boxes, and the fox can't move boxes, only she can.
Stupid fox. But
she still has stuff to do. She still has like a distinct role, and if she is not moving the box, then you can't solve the puzzle. So, but also because I'm maybe 45, 50 minutes into it, because then I had to leave to come here. It's like the puzzles aren't super complicated so far as anything I'll say. It's not stuff where it's like, oh, how do I do this? It's like this puzzle has one clear solution.
I think by the sounds of what the game is, I think it's probably going to be like that the entire way through.
Which I'm kind of fine with, though, because I don't think it's meant to be a super puzzly game. I think it's maybe more a narrative game.
Yeah.
And the narrative is interesting.
Well, that's what my point is mainly, is just that they're not going to want to hold back the narrative from people that can't complete that puzzle.
But I really like the videos. The videos are genuinely really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the videos are really, really good. I really like them. What else have I done this week? Definitely did something else, but I can't remember what it's Free Comic Book Day today. That's what's good to talk about.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I went and got free comic books.
Is that not on a Wednesday?
No, that's New Comic Book Day.
Yeah, I know. New Comic Book Day is on a Wednesday.
New Comic Book Day is every Wednesday. Free Comic Book Day is the first Saturday in May every year.
I thought it was also on a Wednesday, but I guess that'd just be really fucking hectic for him.
Yep. So it's today. It was a lot of fun. Dave's Comics in Brighton is my local comic shop. It was really, really busy, which is kind of cool because it's not busy a lot of the time when I go in there. Not like it's empty, but there's like maybe 5 people in there kind of thing. And today there was like 50 people in there. It was like genuinely busy, and it was cool. And
what were the free
they had
comics?
like
was it just because haven't they in the last few years like
it's really expanded.
No, but in Marvel and DC in the last few years, didn't they like lock it down to be like these are the comic books?
But that's always been that way.
Oh, is it?
So you don't just get any comic book for free?
No, obviously not. But I thought it was like I don't know. No, what I'm trying to say is I thought before they just had like some certain things, but I thought in the last at least a few years ago they like wrote specific ones and produced specific comic books that were for New Comic Book Day, and they were basically. I mean, it's fair enough in a way, but it's basically like a trailer for the actual comic books. They were like more of a way to, they were more accessible, and they were more of a way just to get you to read the other comic books anyway. But that doesn't make sense that you would do it like that.
What Marvel and DC do now is they tend to do stuff which is tied into their big events.
Yeah.
So DC have been doing Convergence. Convergence is in its 2nd month now.
Yeah.
So
did you
2 months.
Have the opinion on Convergence that it was just slapped together fairly last minute?
I hate Convergence.
No, I found out. I was listening to a podcast that had one of the, I think he's writing Green Lantern Convergence, and he found out a year and a half ago about Convergence. And but everyone's like, oh, it just feels like it's just slapped together, and they're like, shit, we need something to do while we're moving. But it's been planned for a really fucking long time.
Yeah, no, I just think they
haven't done a very good job.
Yeah, I would say it's obviously not slapped together. It's not obviously not actually slapped together because Marvel and DC don't do stuff that way.
Yeah,
they would. These are multi-million-dollar companies. They don't operate that way.
Yeah.
But the thing with Convergences is, and big credit to them, they've definitely been laying the groundwork for like a year, like stuff in Future's End and in Earth 2 World's End have been for nearly a year now, and there's stuff been hinted at before that. The Crime Syndicate had stuff to do with Convergence. Like a lot of stuff leads into it. There's references to it all the way back in, not really, but to an extent there's references to it that you could read into stuff all the way back to Flashpoint, which is when the New 52 started like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But it is, I don't like the fact it's just 2 months long. It makes it feel cheap and lazy. And they were like, here it's 2 months long, and they're like, oh, but also Convergence is out weekly, so that's like 8 issues, but everything else is 2-issue miniseries. It's terrible. The first 2 issues of the main Convergence book were $5 an issue, so fuck you. And overall, it is deeply uninteresting as a idea. I do find it interesting though that Secret Wars is basically going to be the same thing. Yeah. So DC and Marvel have arrived at the same thing in the same year, which kind of happens sometimes, but it's weird. The Marvel had a thing that was for Secret Wars, DC had a thing that was for Convergence. I didn't get that because basically what Dave's Comics do is they make up packs. So there's like a superhero pack, an adult pack, and like a fun/kids pack. So one of my friends went in before I did, and because I was like just talking to my friends, I was saying, hey, it's Free Comic Book Day, like go get comics if you want to get comics. And my friends was like, oh, I'm in town, maybe I'll go along. and she messaged me afterwards saying I went in and I got the superhero pack. What to do again? I was like, I haven't been in yet, but I know they've got these different packs. So what I'll do is I'll go and get the fun pack, and then we can swap comics. Because I actually need to. Well, I don't need to, but I really want to read the DC and Marvel stuff just to see how they do stuff, what's going on, and also Justice League number 40, which I've just read, apparently leads into DC Comics one, which is called Divergence, because there's the Convergence event, but this is the book Divergence, which is kind of the fallout from it to an extent. So I was like, okay, cool, I'll get that. So I did that. It was really awesome. So in my one, I got like a book called Gronk, which is like about a little monster who lives with a girl who he's a monster, but he's not like a scary monster, and he lives with this girl because he's rubbish at being a monster, so he's just kind of cute. I don't think it's a girl actually.
Sounds like
so she's kind of cute instead. It's pretty cool.
Monsters Inc. or Real Monsters?
It's kind of like Monsters Inc.
What about Real Monsters?
It's not like Real Monsters.
Real Monsters Inc. was a rip-off of Real Monsters, right?
Not really, because in Real Monsters they try to be scary the whole time.
Yeah, but that's what Monsters Inc. was.
Yeah, but in Monsters Inc. they stopped being scary.
No, I mean the I don't mean the actual storyline. I mean the premise of.
Oh yeah, the premise totally. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a massive rip-off of Real Monsters. And Real Monsters was better.
I also got like a Bongo Comics one, so which is like Simpsons comics. And I got something else that I can't remember what it was. I haven't read that yet. And then I also got Avatar: The Last Airbender number 1, but I don't think that was a free comic book day comic. Basically, what Dave's do,
just stole it.
No, what Dave's do is if they've got like a bunch of something that's like number 1 in a series, and they've just got like 50 of them. They're like, fuck it, just give them away.
Yeah.
Because maybe you'll pick up the rest of the series.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think the options were Last Airbender or Miracle Man number 1, and I've already got Miracle Man number 1, and also like Last Airbender was the one that you got with the free comic book day like the fun pack.
Yeah,
they were like, so if you got the adult pack or the super pack, they're like, hey, do you want Miracle Man?
Yeah. If
you got the fun pack, they were like, hey, do you want Avatar? I don't have Avatar anyway, so I was like, cool. So yeah, so that's was today. That was kind of cool. It was nice to go in there, have a quick chat to the guys, because they're nice guys in there. They always put up with me, even though I talked to them for like 40 minutes. But I normally go in like on Wednesday, and I'm normally like the last guy in the store because I come from work, and I finish work at 6 and they shut at 7. So
yeah,
it takes me like half an hour to get there from work. So I'm like the last guy in there basically most of the time. Also, yesterday, Friday, I went and saw Avengers Age of Ultron, because you were like, hey, come on the podcast and talk about Avengers Age of Ultron. Yeah.
Well, okay, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about Avengers Age of Ultron. Hello, and thank you for watching the Robot Punch Gaming podcast, or listening to the Robot Punch Gaming podcast. I hope you enjoyed mine and my brother's talk about many, many things. If you did want to get in touch with us about anything we said, you can comment on the video, comment on SoundCloud, or get us personally. You can get the Robot Punch Gaming podcast on Twitter at RBTPunch. You can get myself at Carl_is_awesome. And Kris, you can get at HalbPro. That is HALBPRO. Also, some extra bits. Recently I took a dip from doing my YouTube channel because I had some personal stuff I had to work through. But I've just started on it again, hitting it hard. So I've got a Forest Let's Plays at the moment, a game called Transcend. I'm getting State of Decay up a bit later. And I've just done an Amnesia one as well the other night, and that was fun. I've been streaming a lot as well, and I streamed Amnesia, and I was terrified the entire time. But luckily, the stream helped me through it. Everyone was chatting to me on there. So if you want to catch me on YouTube, it's Carl is on Awesome, and on Twitch, it is Carl_is_awesome. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.